Welcome to the Faculty and Staff Activities System Getting Started Screencast series. In this screencast, I'll provide an overview of how to manage activities. Before we begin, remember that the FSAS is a living system that will change over time. If you see something that looks a little different than it did the last time you logged in, rest assured that your data is secure, and know that a change signals an improvement or a new feature. Even though some parts of the system are likely to change over time, the underlying construction of the system should remain the same. So let's get started. The FSAS is a database system that allows you to enter data on a series of screens. Once data is in the system, then you can create, print, save, and share a variety of reports. The system maintains your data so that you can access, update, change, delete, and use this data to generate the reports at any time. Once you've logged into the system, you can approach managing your data in a number of ways. You can systematically enter your data into every screen. This approach is comprehensive, and when you're finished, you'll have a complete academic record of your activities and achievements. This approach would likely take a lot of time up front, but once it's done, all of your reporting will be streamlined. You can keep your records current by adding activities and achievements as you go. And then doing your annual reports, your T&P application, grant applications, or anything that calls for your CV will be simplified. Another approach is to enter only the data you need to complete a specified report. The college's interactive FSAS website gives you precise detail about which screens and which fields on each screen apply to each of our current reports, including the annual activities, the T&P, and the CSU Curriculum Vitae. You don't have to complete every screen or every field on each screen to make good use of this system. Now let's take a closer look at Manage Activities. On this screen, the left navigation pane shows your location. And in the middle of the page, you can see 4 categories: General Information, Teaching and Advising, Scholarship and Research, and Service. Within each of these 4 categories, you see links to screens you use to collect your academic activities and achievements in each of these areas. Using these screens, there are 4 methods you can use to add information about your activities and achievements. The first method is by far the easiest because you don't have to do anything. Data and information flows into the FSAS database automatically through integrations with other CSU databases. The FSAS is integrated with CSU's HR database for contact and non-confidential employment information, with ARIES for course information, and with Coalicoias for funding contracts and sponsored programs information. Let me show you. In General Information, when I open Personal and Contact Information, I see that some of my contact information is already in the form. Notice the little gray lock icon? This icon indicates that the field next to it is a read-only locked file. This also signals that the data came from another database. Take a look also at yearly data. All of this information also comes over automatically from a CSU HR database. The FSAS is also integrated with ARIES, which means that a lot of course data in ARIES dating back to 2007 is automatically available to you in scheduled teaching. The same thing is true for funded contracts. In the Funded Contracts, Fellowships, Grants, and Sponsored Research section of Scholarship and Research, you have access to information that originates in Coalicoias. You will not have to enter any of your course or your funded contracts information. You can add some supplemental information in each area, but in general, you can count on the information here being complete and accurate, which will hopefully make your life a little easier. The database integration also ensures that this information in our reports will be as accurate and as up-to-date as possible. The second method of entering data into your FSAS account is to type the information into the screen fields manually. Filling out most of the screens is quite simple. Imagine, for example, that I won an award and I just received the award letter. My approach will be to enter the achievements into the system before I file my letter. I'll open the FSAS to manage activities, and then open the Awards and Honors screen. If I've already created an entry in this area, then I'll see a summary page that lists all of my awards and honors to date. In this case, I'll select Add a New Entry, which takes me to a new screen. I'll select the type, Award, that the award was received on January 31st, 2016. Then I enter the name of the award, and you see here that I've entered this text before. The sponsor of the award was CSU in Fort Collins, Colorado, United States. And the award was related to leadership. Now I can add more information here if I want, and that information may be useful in the future. But if I've filled out all of the required fields, including the fields with a red dot, or fields that are required for my report, then I can save this record. Now I have a new record of my reward, and I can file my letter and not worry about remembering to report this achievement at a future date. The third method of adding information into the FSAS is to copy and paste. In some cases, I may have a lot of information, including narratives, that I've already typed into another document. The last thing I want to do is retype all of this information. So I can speed up the process by copying from an existing document and pasting information into the FSAS. If you have a large monitor or multiple monitors, then you can have two windows open next to one another, and copying and pasting is a really straightforward process. But if you're like me and you have only one screen and maybe it's little like mine is, then the FSAS provides a pasteboard that you can use to help with copying and pasting information. Let me demonstrate. Let's say I want to add some professional positions. I can go to my Vita, copy the entire document, and then I can open the pasteboard under Manage Activities and paste my Vita into the pasteboard. The pasteboard looks like an electronic sticky note that stays on top of any FSAS screen that I open. So in Manage Activities, I'll open Academic and Professional Positions. And I'll add a new item. Then I can start adding information about my position on this screen. I'll select Academic Post-Secondary, and then I'll start copying and pasting information from my Vita using the pasteboard. Now, if I want to paste some narrative text about what I did, I can copy a large amount of text and then paste it into a large text box. And if I want to add another position, see that when I add a new item for the position, that the pasteboard stays with me on top of everything I'm doing. So copying and pasting text works really well in the FSAS, especially if you have a lot of narrative text. It's important to know that in addition to typing and copying and pasting text, in some cases you can also attach examples of your work. Possible attachments include a course syllabus, a summary evaluation or feedback, full articles or abstracts, short audio and video clips, and any other attachments that show some of the more qualitative aspects of your activities and achievements. In your reports, attachments appear as active links to the attached document or website. The fourth method of adding information into the system is to use the import tool. The FSAS has a very nice import tool you can use to import publication references. Let me show you. In the section called Intellectual Contributions, which is the area where you want to add your publications, the import tool can simplify the process of adding publication reference information. You can always add a new item manually, but if you would like to use the import tool, you can import any publication reference that you have if you can generate a bibtex file. Most systems that allow you to manage references will likely include the ability to export your references into a bibtex file, which is the file type you need to use this import tool. Getting a bib file of references for your publications is not difficult, and once you have that file, the import tool works really well. In the next screencast, I'll demonstrate how to get a bib file using an online database, in this case, Google Scholar, and how to get a bib file using a software system, in this case, EndNote. To review, managing your activities in the FSAS begins by using the screens in one of the 4 major categories: general information, teaching and advising, scholarship and research, and service. You add information into the system by importing, in the case of publications, copying and pasting text, adding attachments, and typing information directly into fields on each screen. And finally, information is automatically entered into the system for you by way of integrations with other CSU databases, including CSU's HR databases, ARIES, and Kuali Koias. In the future, you may see more integrations with other CSU databases. If you need more detailed assistance related to the reports or the FSAS screens, see the College of Liberal Arts Interactive FSAS website that provides checklists and details precisely which fields in the FSAS are included in each of your reports. If you need further information or assistance, please contact Brian Gillespie, Director of Information Technology for the College of Liberal Arts.